On a quiet Montgomery County road, detectives detail horrific abuse happening on the inside of a home on Goodman Road. Two women are now behind bars. Tanya and Brenda Garcia are sisters who investigators at Montgomery County Sheriff's Office say took in a 12-year-old girl in March.
All right, family. There are some stories that make you mad, and then there are stories that make your soul hurt. And this one is both. We got two sisters, grown women, are being accused of abusing a 12-year-old girl for months. Not just neglect, not just yelling. We're talking about brutal physical and emotional abuse to the point where they allegedly told this child to her face, just unalive yourself. Now tell me, what kind of evil does it take to say that to a kid? Let's talk about it. What's up, family? Welcome back to Inside the Scoop, where we shine a light on the real stories happening in our communities, the good, the bad, and the stuff that'll make you question humanity. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share this video. And also drop your city and state in the comments because I need to know where y'all watching from. And if you've ever heard of something this sick happening near you. All right, let's get into this mess. So, this story comes out of Montgomery County. We have two sisters who were arrested after months of allegedly torturing a 12-year-old girl. Police say the abuse was so bad, the child was found covered in bruising, scars, and burns. She told investigators she was constantly being denied food and insulted. And y'all, it gets worse. Reporters say that the sisters would force her to stand for hours, lock her in a room, and repeatedly tell her she was worthless. 12 years old, 12. That is a baby. And this child was living in daily terror. Family, I gotta ask, how do people like this even exist? What kind of hate do you have to carry to take it out on a child like that?
Say CPS was involved, but when they were looking for the 12-year-old girl, Brenda told CPS the child had moved back to Honduras to be with her mother.
Can y'all believe this, miss? Y'all know she's lying. She's lying. Sitting up there lying, y'all. So here's how it came to light. The girl finally got help after a neighbor called the police. That neighbor told investigators they had heard the girl crying for hours and saw her looking malnourished and weak. When officers showed up, they said the child had visible injuries and burn marks, and she was so scared she barely wanted to speak. And y'all, that is the part that breaks me. Police said she told them she thought she deserved it. That's what years of abuse does to a child. It makes them think it's their fault. How many of y'all have ever seen a child in your neighborhood or family who looks scared or withdrawn, but you didn't know how to help? Would you step in now if you saw something like that? Now, according to the court documents, it described what this child went through, and it's hard to even say out loud, but y'all need to hear it. So, according to the reports, the sister allegedly abused this child with belts, cords, and they burned her as punishment. They starved her, sometimes letting her go without food for days. And they constantly verbally abused her, telling her she was a waste of space and should just unalive herself already. What kind that's not discipline. That's torture. These women weren't terror, they were monsters. So what do y'all think should happen to people who abuse kids like this? Because I don't know about you, but jail time, they don't even feel like it's enough. It don't feel like it was enough. Let's continue.
Investigators say the injuries that this child sustained are directly from physical abuse, neglect, and malnutrition. Tanya is charged with injury to a child and unlawful restraint. Brenda is charged with injury to a child, unlawful restraint, and invasive visual recording, accused of taking nude photos and videos of the 12-year-old girl. The
So both of the sisters were charged, right? They were arrested, right? With abuse caused a serious bodily injury and intentional child cruelty. And the prosecutor said the evidence was overwhelming. The child's statement and even text messages between the sisters showing they knew what they were doing. And now they're facing up to 50 years in prison each. And let me say this, I hope they get every single one of those years. Every single one.
Garcia sisters deny wrongdoing. Brenda told the detective the victim is manufacturing the allegations. The
I can't believe this, y'all. They had the nerve to say that the 12-year-old was making this up. How do you make some you can't make nothing like that up. Physical evidence, you can't make that up. So if you were the judge on this case, what sentence would you have handed down? Do you think 50 years is enough, or should there have been even harsher punishment for what they had done? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So the good news is, or if you can even call it that, is that the 12-year-old girl is now in protective custody. She's getting medical care, therapy, and counseling. And doctor said it's going to take months, maybe even years, for her to heal both physically and emotionally. But you know what's sad? The scars may fade, but she's gonna always remember what those people said and what they did to her. It don't just disappear, or at least in my opinion, it does not. What do you think? Do you think a child can truly ever heal from something like that? Or does trauma like this follow you forever? It's deeper than just getting better. Now, let's zoom out for a second because this story, as shocking as it is part of a bigger problem. We got too many adults walking around with unhealed trauma, and instead of getting help, they pass the pain down to the next generation. Like it's a cycle. They were probably hurt, abandoned, or abused themselves, and now they turn around and do the same thing. But here's the thing, being hurt is no excuse to hurt somebody else, especially a child. Break that cycle, do not repeat it. So, do y'all think abuse is learned behavior, like people becoming what they saw growing up, or do you think some folks are just flat out evil? I really want to know what y'all think. So I got this diagram from the pair of aces, and it tells you about the adverse childhood experiences that a person could go through, and then the adverse community environments, which all of that can certainly have an effect on you, but it's up to you or the person you know or whatever family member or friend or acquaintance or whoever to get the help that you need immediately, because you don't be needing to pass that down to nobody who don't deserve it. And let me just say this as well. If you see something, you better say something, because there's too many kids out here suffering in silence because nobody wants to get involved. You never know. Your one phone call could save a life. Because if that neighbor hadn't spoke up, this little girl might not even be alive right now. This isn't about gossip or minding your business. This is about protecting children. who can't protect themselves. Would you report something if you suspected child abuse, or do you think people are too scared of getting involved these days? Let me know your thoughts below because this matters deeply, deeply than you can ever imagine. This story breaks my heart, y'all. It has also reminded me that there's still good people out there because that neighbor who called, they're the real hero here. So if you take anything away from this story, let it be this. Don't stay silent. Protect the innocent. If you think someone's being abused, call your local authorities or the National Child Abuse Hotline. And that number is 1-800 422 4453. And you can call anonymously. You do not have to provide your personal information. And you can also go to www.childhelp.org. And all calls are toll free. And again, they're confidential. They work around the clock. The hotline is 24/7 and in more than 170 different languages. So it's no excuse. And if you believe in justice for that little girl, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and share this video. And drop a comment to show support for every kid who's gone through something like this. Because enough is enough. Until next time, stay alert, stay compassionate, and remember, if we don't protect our children, then who will?